Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Carrie Dillon. We're joined by Ken Kirby, and you are with Peacock Subaru.
Yes.
All right, at the Auto Mall there
at
in
the
New
Auto
River?
Mall right there. Yeah.
You all are so involved with our community. I mean, every time I see that there's a walk going on or a cause, Subaru's like right in the mix with that.
That's really what Subaru's niche is. I mean, one of the things that they talk about at our meetings with all the general managers and owners and our VP and our president of Subaru is that you have to give back to the community, because good business isn't just about profit.
Mm-mm.
Good business is about being good for the community. And Subaru pushes that very hard. So does Mr. Peacock.
Sure. And, I think people like to be responsible consumers.
It's very important.
And sort of vote with your money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't, when you just, it's the easiest way is just to push a button. But when you actually give back into the community, you're actually supporting the people around you.
Absolutely. So you all took on the night shelter, the city night shelter,
right,
out of Savannah. You all had a really nice donation that just came up. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we went over in a couple cars and donated 80 blankets for the night shelter over in Savannah, which hopefully can help people when it starts getting a little cold. I know it doesn't get cold a lot around here,
but when it gets cold, it gets cold.
It got cold the last few days.
It sure did.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so hopefully we helped a few people out there, and it's little things like that end up hopefully doing something good for the community long term.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit about some of the products that you all have. Is it still possible to get a stick shift car?
Yes.
Sort of, kind of?
Kind of, sort of. We still do in two of our brands.
Mm-hmm.
We still have a stick shift option. And most of the time when people get those, they're putting them behind an RV.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's a little known thing, but that's what they end up doing. They're putting them behind their RV so they can flat tow them.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I just have it's very nostalgic for me. My first car was a Subaru.
Sure.
And the sound of the engine. Subarus really have an interesting sound.
Yeah, it's the Boxster. It's the way the pistons actually go at a vertical instead of. A horizontal.
Yeah, horizontal.
Instead of vertical. And,
that's what gives it that growly sound?
Yeah.
Oh,
Same thing with Porsche.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Porsche's a little more aggressive.
Maybe just a little. I've always wondered what makes that sound. That's so much fun to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they've just been coming out with like fantastic sporty models, utility.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about what we can expect to see.
Well, right now our biggest seller, of course, is the Outback. And they've done some major updates with that, and they've really introduced it into the new world with all the technology. And then when you look at the Forester, it's very similar as well. They've done a lot of upgrades. They actually upgraded the vehicle without changing the exterior much, but it actually added 5 cubic feet of space.
What?
Without changing anything on the exterior, which was
That's quite a feat of engineering.
It is. Those engineers are brilliant, which was just in how they did the interior without cheapening it up at all. A lot of cars you look at and it doesn't feel right or look right. And
right.
The nice thing about Subaru is I never have to worry about someone getting in a car that just came off the truck and go, oh, this is wrong. I mean, they're
on.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
So we had my first car was the Subaru hand-me-down, and then we had Forester. We've had an Outback, and the Great in the Snow from up north.
Oh yeah.
Just fantastic in the snow.
Well, down here it's people say, well, I don't need an all-wheel drive because we don't have any snow.
Kind of do.
That's not what it is. For us, it's safety because all wheels running it all the time actually lets you react.
Yeah.
And it's also about the rains that we get here and everything else that just come out of nowhere that will surprise you. And all of a sudden, because the rain doesn't actually go into the ground and you have all this high water everywhere, it's as important here as anywhere.
That coupled with 278, right? But there's some really great AI functions.
Oh, sure.
There's some fantastic AI functions. We actually put my mom in a Subaru recently because she needed a little bit of help with things that we would normally be telling her if we were sitting with her, and the car does it for her.
Right.
It's totally freed her up in a way that she didn't realize she needed.
Right now I'm driving an Outback, and the Outback actually will tell me, put your eyes back on the road.
Get out.
Knock it off. Pretty much. And so it's very difficult for me to drive with my children But most of the time I can go down the road, and if all of a sudden I'm, kind of checking out and thinking about something
brings you right
today,
back?
the car goes beep beep and says, "Hey, pay attention."
And that's why we, away from my mom, feel so safe.
Yeah.
We feel so good knowing that. Ken Kirby, it's so good to spend some time with you.
Same as you.
All right. We'll be back with more Talk of the Town.
Take care.